we sit at our kitchen tables staring at these electricity bills, trying to understand them. I mean, I'm the economics and business editor of GB News. I have trouble understanding
I'm glad to hear that,
my gas and electricity bill. It's almost as if it's designed to be complicated and they're taking money from you and keeping it, and when do I get that money back, etc., etc. Let's have a look at some of the details. So Ofgem, which is the energy regulator, they have announced a new price cap this morning. It's set to fall from £2,074 a year combined gas and electricity bill to £1,923 from October to December. But as you rightly say, Anne, that blanket £400 per household subsidy that we've been getting, it's been taken automatically off your bills, that's now gone. And Ofgem has also said that it's going to allow these energy companies to increase their standing charges. And that's a bit unfair because standing charges apply however much energy you use. So if you're a pensioner couple and you're trying to use less energy this winter, you're skimping on your heating, you're not cooking very much, that standing charge is still going to be the same, and that's going to go up. Ofgem's allowing that so the energy companies can try and recoup some money.
But, looking at that then, it looks like certainly some people
are going to pay more.
Pay more.
Well, don't shoot the messenger, but that's exactly right. So there's a think tank called the Resolution Foundation. They are broadly a centre-left think tank, but they're respectable. They don't make things up. And they came out with a report yesterday, which I talked about here on GB News, and I'll mention it again. So we've got another graphic about that. So the Resolution Foundation are saying when you allow for higher standing charges and the fact that the £400 subsidy is gone, they reckon 7.2 million homes, about a third of the homes in England, are going to end up with higher bills this winter, with the average standing charge, Ofgem's confirmed this morning, rising from about £250 to £300 a year. On top of that, we've also seen oil prices go up in the last few months. They're up 20% since late June. If you filled up your car or van lately, you'll have seen that in petrol and diesel prices, Stephen. And then also we've got wholesale gas prices going up. They're up 50% since mid-July. Now, that may not mean too much. They're really, really volatile. But look, there's still lots of geopolitical stuff going on. We're still talking lots about Putin and Ukraine. Energy markets are still volatile. And I'd really like to be able to say that it's going to be better this winter, and people are sort of assuming it will be. But last winter was quite mild. This winter, the long-range forecasts look as if it's going to be colder. And listen to this. This is from Jonathan Brearley. He's the chief exec of Ofgem. He said this morning, it's welcome that the price cap continues to fall, but I can't offer any certainty that things will ease this winter. And Gillian Cooper, who's the head of energy policy at the Excellent Citizens Advice Bureau, so a fantastic authoritative source, increasing numbers of people we see are in a negative budget. They simply don't have enough money coming in. Our data suggests it will be as bad, if not worse, than last winter. No wonder that Citizens Advice are calling for government to step in quickly with more targeted support.
But they're not likely to, are they? Well, it has to be targeted, doesn't it?
It will be. It will almost certainly be targeted. I don't think we're going to go back, Anne, to sort of across the board blanket support for the likes of you and me with huge respect. I think there will be more targeted. There's already some, but I think there will be more targeted support. And the fact that we saw earlier this week, we saw that the government wasn't borrowing quite as much as the Office for Budget Responsibility said it was going to borrow. Of course, a lot of Tory backbenchers weigh in tax cuts, tax cuts, tax cuts. It may be that if there is any fiscal headroom, it goes back into supporting the most vulnerable households with their energy bills. Look, I wish I had better news. The cap is down, but that doesn't mean for a minute that everybody's going to get a lower bill.
No, but at least it's not. At least it's not shooting up.
At least it's
stabilising.
This could go either way, Stephen. So much of what's going to happen to the cost of living crisis this autumn and inflation has nothing at all to do with what the Bank of England does or doesn't do and interest rate rises that take months, years to feed through. A lot of it, for me, is geopolitics. What's happening with war in Europe? What's happening on global energy markets? What's happening with the OPEC exporters cartel that's very close to Russia now? You saw Saudi Arabia yesterday. It's going to join that group of BRICS, the BRIC economies, Brazil, Russia, India and China, setting up a kind of rival power base to the West. So, look, we just all want to get through the winter, right? We want to pay our energy bills. We want to keep the wolf from the door. I wish it was more simple. I wish I could say, hooray, bills are coming down. A lot of headlines will say that, but they won't tell you the whole story.